Hello everybody, welcome to the first installment in this environment creation course. Today we're going to be going over our references, as these are the most important things to getting started. Before we go into Gaia and everything, we need to know what we actually want to create. So this is a particular mountain I found near Reykjavik in Iceland. It's called Mount Esja, Esja, and sometimes N. Yeah, it's a stunning mountain. And I want to show you a little bit about how I sourced these images and about sort of practices when it comes to building reference boards, because I think there's some nuance there that could be appreciated. And I think let's go to our browser. So I knew I wanted to do something with Iceland because I love Iceland. I want to live here one day, and it's got so much cool stuff. Like these are awesome. These super famous mountains. I don't know the name of them. I actually don't know the name of many things, but you know what? I can appreciate something that looks cool. So I was scrolling around in here, right? I saw this photo and I saw Reykjavik. So this is by Reykjavik. So then I went to mountains near Reykjavik. Boom. Confirmation that I was at least partially right. And then I learned this is the particular mountain in question. So the next thing I want to do is the Wikipedia page for this mountain. The reason is twofold. Firstly, because I think it's just interesting to read up on what you're creating. I think that gets you better results because, for instance, this formation can be useful when you're doing this in Gaia. Like this formed from glaciers and lava fields and all that other stuff. And you can kind of find a way to simulate that. For this one, we aren't going too in-depth because it's relatively simple shape, and we can basically do most of it with just shaping and like post-processing it. But the other reason I went is because they always have high-resolution images of stuff. This is one of the images on my reference board. It's a really sizable image. And it's just a good place to go to get images that you can't really find on just Google image search, although, I mean, you can obviously find a fair few. But it's a safe bet, and I'll take what I can get. So, now I want to dive a little bit into how I actually craft my reference boards, because this isn't a lot of pictures. And it's useful to note that this thing will probably grow as we go on in the project. Your beginning reference board doesn't always have to be your end reference board. This is all I need for the Gaia portion of the project, right? I get to see all these nice flows. I get to see the general rock structures. And getting too lost in the details is actually kind of harmful because the details are the last thing you create in Gaia. You need to create these base shapes first. But you could bet once we go into Houdini, I'm going to be getting images of these things because I'm going to need them for the glyph upresing that we're going to be doing in Houdini. Right now, I don't have to worry about that, so I'm keeping my reference board kind of light. Now, it doesn't mean I couldn't gather more, and I probably should have. This is only 5 images, but this is enough for me right now. I get to see it under different weather and lighting conditions, different times of the year. I get to sort of choose, oh, do I want to make this snowy, or do I want to make this like completely not snowy and quite green? Or somewhere in the middle. I think this is a nice blend. I like this touch of green. I think it really is good. And showing subtlety in your renders and in your projects is great. Because if it was just snow and gravel, that's not very interesting. This extra little bit of green adds so much realism. It's those extra touches that count. Because nothing is ever really just grayscale. Given on this image, it's a little bit tough to see where it might be, but I mean, I think there's some grass down there, right? Definitely something going on up there. Although that could, I don't really know what that is, but the point is there's actually quite a fair bit of stuff beyond just monochrome dust. That's a basic rundown. This is basically what we're doing together, our base shapes and all that fun stuff. But you shouldn't get too lost in the details at first, as that will harm us. Literally losing the forest for the trees in some cases, although having good trees is always fun. I will see you guys next time for our time in Gaia together. See ya.